Hi guys, Balls96 here, but the O is a 0, and building on from last week's video, I have taken a look at every Premier League's away kit and got the league table up and decided to find out how the league would finish if it was based on my gradings of the Premier League away kit. So stick around to find out what I think of your team's away kit. 20th, Arsenal. F. Taking a deep dive from the quality of their home kit and the usual fantastic quality every single year, Arsenal definitely deserve relegation for this one. Who in the right mind greenlit this kit, or should I say luminescently this kit? It's a blend of 3 different colours, none of which go. Luminescent yellow does not work for a football kit, and then to have those black lines sprawled all over it in a fashion which is undeniably unpleasing to the eye. There is a reason why poisonous animals across the world don the colours of yellow and black, and it is to deter others from them. If Arsenal wanted to deter people from this kit, then they've succeeded. But those colours obviously weren't enough, so they've decided to tack on bright blue colour into the edges, badges and sponsor. Absolutely horrendous. 19th, Bournemouth, E+. Next up for relegation, and it is Bournemouth. It is different, it is unique. Just don't like it though. The pattern isn't very pleasing to look at, being reminiscent of a children's drawing of the ocean. The collar and trims aren't too bad, and colour change of the sponsor and badges was the right call, but it is just the main body of the kit which really doesn't sit very well with me. 18th, Sheffield United, D. Last up for relegation, and we are looking at Sheffield United's third kit, as at the time of recording the away kit has not been released yet. There isn't too much wrong with this kit, it is just incredibly dull. So bland, with no detail on it whatsoever, other than a couple of hints of red. For the most part, it is just a grey shirt. Grey is the absolute blandest colour, and they've decided to use it all over with this one. Again, it isn't bad looking, there just isn't anything to get excited about with it. 17th, Manchester United, D+, just missing out on relegation here, and we have a stark contrast from the home kit, which netted Manchester United with a first place finish in my last list. I just can't make my mind up on this one. Sometimes I look at it and think it looks pretty decent, and other times I think it looks horrendous. So I've decided to go for a bit of a middle ground in, and have kept them in the league. Just the uniqueness and retro vibe of it are pretty cool, but I don't know, something about it just isn't very nice to look at. I feel like there is a bit too much going on, and the colours of it aren't very attractive in the way they've been put together, I suppose. 16th, Burnley, D+. Next up, and we have Burnley's away kit, which is a funny one. It is the exact same design as the Luton home kit, which I rated so highly, but the colour palette for this one does not suit the design at all, and overall it isn't the nicest. Again, I do like this design with the different coloured strip down the club crest side of the shirt, but this bright yellow with claret and black, no. It's not nice. It's not nice. The fact the launch pictures are on sun lounging deck chairs is like they are acknowledging that the yellow is reminiscent of an old school deck chair, and brings me back to the days of the infamous Newcastle away shirt in 2009. The horror. 15th, Brighton, D+, same grading as their home kit, but faring better in the league table this time around. We have Brighton coming in at 15th place. Green doesn't usually work for a football kit, but the tone of the green with the black on this one isn't too bad, and actually looks pretty decent, but it still isn't great. With it being just a palette change from the home kit, the same negatives still apply for me. The big block to accommodate the sponsor is a shame, and the way the stripes round off at the top to meet the collar just looks weird. 14th, Chelsea, C-. At the time of recording, Chelsea have only released their home kit, and so this is the first one where I'm going to have to be basing this on a leaked kit. The image here is the heavily rumoured kit, and it isn't too bad at all. The design is very unique, giving me some strobe light rave vibes, which I'm not complaining about, and the colours are pretty Inter Milan-like, which is going to be a win. The collar is pretty nice, and the colour change for the badges works relatively well, where I'm downgrading this kit though mainly mainly is in the fact that once again it looks like a training shirt. This doesn't look like it should be worn on a match day, and that is the issue. How can I put a shirt higher than this if it doesn't look like it belongs in a match day fixture? 13th, Brentford, C-. As Brentford's away kit is going to be the same as last season's, I've decided to look at their new third kit for this ranking. Just like the Chelsea entry, this is another unique one here, which usually would mean it is a win for me, and this one isn't bad again, but it just isn't amazing. Looking quite like a bit of a snazzy goalkeeper kit, the blend of neon blue and pink on a dark blue base looks pretty cool, and the indecipherable design works somewhat here. It just isn't amazing though, is it? I don't dislike it, which is why they've got this high in this league table, but I don't love it, which is why they're no higher than this. 12th, Everton, C. The third pretty unique kit on the bounce here, and this one is a bit of a mad one. The stripes is something new for Everton, which they wouldn't usually do, and the style of those stripes is pretty cool, to be fair. The base colour looks quite nice, but it is the random jagged design within every other stripe that is the eye-catching part of this shirt. I don't adore them, but I do think they look pretty cool, and the collar looks really smart. I think the absence of the same design being on the trim of the sleeves is a missed point though. It's different from Everton's usual designs, and it isn't an outright win, but I welcome the change. 11th, Luton Town, C+. Just outside of the top 10 with Luton here, and once again it is a funny one how a palette change can be all the difference. I gave the home kit a very high grading, and I've given Burnley's away kit a low grading, whereas this one is smack bang in the middle, all of which have the same design. Strange one, but there we are. This isn't as classic as the orange of the home kit, but it does look pretty nice. The white with blue trims looks very classic, and that strong red strip down the badge side stands out nicely. I think for this one, the reason it doesn't grade any higher is that it doesn't stand out like the home kit, and it doesn't stand out as much against the competition, but it isn't a bad kit at all. 10th, West Ham, C+. Top 10 now, and we have West Ham's offering. The collar and trims look retro, slick, and very smart, and the white is clean. All in all, it looks very neat, really, and can't carry too many complaints about it. Other than the white out of the badge and kit supply though. Sometimes that might work, but I feel like the West Ham badge would have really popped on this shirt if it had been kept in its usual colour. With the white on white effect on it, it makes the front of the shirt look very basic. Nice, but basic. 9th, Fulham, B-. Inside the top 10 now, and we have the new Fulham pink away kit. I like this one, to be fair. The pink is very unique and eye-catching. The black accents stand out boldly on the shirt. I think it will draw a few haters, but I think it looks smart. 8th, Manchester City, B-. Only just missing out on Europe, Manchester City have not released their away kit at the time of recording, and so we are looking at the third kit in this list. And as has been the flavour of this list, this is a very different kit indeed. With a neon lightning effect sprawled all over a base dark navy shirt, it is very different than any of the other kits in this list. It is pretty awesome, to be fair, but that isn't what I like most about this kit. What I like most is the choice of colouring for the badges and sponsor, which is a sort of pastel red, which stands out incredibly well against the rest of the design without actually clashing with it. It's not a perfect kit, but it is a very nice one. 7th, Nottingham Forest, B-. Qualifying for Europe here, and we have Nottingham Forest's very nice away kit, drawing inspirations from classic Argentinian kits it seems. The white and light blue looks very nice, and with this slightly waved effect to it changing the formula, it stands out from the pack. I really like this one. It just feels like a bit of a classic, to be honest, which Adidas never really fail at when they go for a classic look. Can't really fault this one. 6th, Spurs, B. Into the Europa League, we have the rumoured Spurs away kit, as again, at the time of recording, we are still waiting for them to officially release it. This shirt just looks smart with enough differing details to keep it from being bland. I like the base colour of this, which is black, being a complete opposite of the pure white home kit. It creates a real sense of home and away. Then you have the solid tones of blue and the addition of grey in a few places to give this kit a real different feel. I am not completely sold on this iridescent badges thing, but it doesn't look too bad here and actually suits the kit quite a bit. It isn't the showiest of shirts and it isn't the most striking, but it just looks smart without trying too hard at standing out. I like it, man. 6th, Newcastle United B. In 5th place with Newcastle United's dark green away kit. There's been a lot of kits with green in this list, the majority of which haven't favoured too greatly, but this one is pretty cool. Once again this season seeming to be adopting the Saudi colours with this kit and a dark green colour. Looks real nice. The subtle crisscrossing stripe effects all over give it some definition, whilst Castor have brought back the same collar and sleeve trims as are on the home kit, which similarly to the Wolves one favour this kit nicely as they stand out boldly from the rest. 4th, Liverpool B. A modern day interpretation of the classic 95-96 shirt. This kit isn't for everyone, I bloody like it. As a Liverpool fan, that 95-96 shirt sits fondly in the history of the club, and it is nice to see a good rendition of that nearly 30 years later. Liverpool have stuck to the retro look for both their home and away kits this season, and it has worked out for them here. The block effect hasn't been matched by anyone else in the league this season, and the geometric way Nike have gone about it is a real clever way to add depth, even if it does look a bit like a creeper from Minecraft. Those black trims to the collar and sleeves as well are just a nice subtle touch to round it all off. 3rd, Wolves B+. I love how much this kit stands apart from the home kit. Completely different colours and design are a positive in my eyes. You don't get a lot of teams going so committed on the red for their away kits, and I don't see why, because this is nice. Yet again, green features on this one, but in a nice subtle way to the undersleeves and shoulders in a similar fashion to the Villa home kit, but looking much nicer and having the foresight not to include that silly piping line across the middle of the shoulder. The random little shapes inside the base of the shirt look nice, and the odd hints of Wolves' classic yellowish gold is the icing on the cake. 2nd, Aston Villa B+. A very big improvement on the home kit, which I didn't think was awful at all, but this one hits it out of the park. The base colour doesn't kick up much of a fuss, whilst that overhauled white and claret palette change to the badges and sponsor really stand out on the front of it. Particular props to that for the sponsor, as that BK8 usual colouring is a real eyesore on the home kit. Where this shirt gets its main kudos though is in the subtle, almost geometric lion design within the body of the shirt. Such a strong image to display on the shirt, as pays brilliant homage to the club icon. 1st, Crystal Palace A, and the winner. I absolutely love a kit with a sash. You don't get it enough for me. Absolute classic football kit design. The colours of this Palace shirt blend so smartly together and just look clean cut. The touch within the sash to have the repeating words Crystal Palace Football Club founded 1861 to recognise them being the oldest club in league football today is a fantastic choice as well. If you've been taking note of my picks, I do like this style of collar, and it has been done to perfection with this kit with clean sleeve trims to match. The colour palette change of the badge stands out massively from the rest of the kit and is a really clever inclusion. This is just an absolute classic kit, and I'm sure Palace fans will be very happy with it. So there we have it, guys. That is how the league table would finish if it was based on my grading of each Premier League away kit. If you liked what you watched, please do remember to like, comment and subscribe, and let me know what you thought of my picks. And please do check me out across all of my socials. I am on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube where you're watching this video, and Twitch where I do all of my streaming, all under the same handle, Bolts96, but the O is a 0. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.